We got a 2005 Pontiac GTO that was driven here by the owner. It was referred to us by a transmission place. The vehicle doesn't shift correctly. I haven't test drove it. All I know that the owner had bought a Reman transmission control module from Napa, I guess, and he said when he installs it, it does the same thing. This is the transmission control module, and the one plugged in is the original one. So let's put a scanner on it, scan it, see what we're dealing with. So I'm using my Autel 919, and we have 3 codes in the powertrain control module. Theft, deterrent, start, enable, signal not received. It says current, past, and failed. History 1629. We have 1632, theft, deterrent, fuel, disable, signal received. And we have a U0101 Lost communication with transmission control module. It says DTC status, current DTC, and it says failed and current. This ignition switch failed, mil requested, and it's failed in history. So we do have a lost communication. Also, ABS control module is reporting a current code U2106 lost communication with TCM transmission control module. We do have service vehicle soon. We do have a prindle. Not sure if there should be an indicator here or not on those vehicles. I see a red thing, but I'm not sure it should lit or not. However, we have a P on the dashboard, and here we go. When I put it on reverse, that explains it. That doesn't change. Alright, when I put it on drive, that doesn't change at all. So that P might be a default thing. I noticed one thing: when you go reverse, the car drives normal. However, when we go forward, like, it barely moves. Of course, check engine light is on. I did ask the customer if anything happened before this problem. He said he was at a car show, and all he did after he left, he revved it, and once he revved it, car went to a limp mode. So that's what we know. I always want to, I believe he drove in with the new one, so I put the old one, and I like to start with the original one, start my diag from scratch, because I'm pretty sure I asked him, he just took a chance and bought a transmission control module, and he plugged it in, and it was doing the same thing. It's stuck on limp mode. So let's start basics. You know, we have a no-com module. Let's start looking at wiring diagram and IDing the CAN bus communication lines and powers and grounds, and if there's any wake-up signal. So I'm using all data for service information or diagrams, and I was able to highlight powers and grounds on this aftermarket redrawn diagram for the transmission control module. First, we're going to check this ACC voltage, which should be, I think, with the key on. So we're gonna put the key on regardless. And number 1 brown, and number 2 is green, light green. So this is number 1. Yellow should be 11, which I believe it's this one right here, and that should be a power. We have our test light on ground. So when we come to check this yellow one, we should have, hold on, yellow one has power. So next is the pink, blue, and orange. Both of them should be power. Second row about the middle, that pink and blue right here, and we have power. One right next to it, which is an orange right here, this orange, and we have power also. The last one to check is this pin 49, black and red, which is right here, and that should be ground, so I switched my test lead to power, and the other one should ground, and we have battery voltage, so I mean we have a ground, sorry. So that's good, but however, did you guys notice something in this diagram? Did you guys notice something? Did we miss something? Yes, there's no computer data lines, so this is wrong, this is missing. When I go to the aftermarket also, I find these. However, I'm not gonna trust them anymore. I go to OE and they match the aftermarket. So 6 and 7, I call this a one-way, by the way. This is just my term. This is not a technical term or official term. I call it one-way. The reason why the CAN message goes one way, it's in and out, so we need 4 wires, 4 pins at any given module, except the ones that has the first and the last in the tree. They are going to have 2, like this body control module. So this transmission control module, pins 6 and 7 and 73 and 37, sorry, 38. Those are the high-speed GM LAN serial data bus, plus and minus. Let's find them and let's use our scope to check the signal. So as I said, 6 and 7, 37, 38, and I would like to do this test when the PCM is plugged. 6 and 7 are right here. It's a brown and black, and the other ones are right here, 37, 38. So 6, we have a good signal. CAN low, I believe. Yes, it's CAN, plus minus. I switched my lead to 7. By the way, we have the black one on ground for this test, and we have a good signal also on 6 and 7. Let's see the other ones. 37 is good, and 38 is good. Now let's stop here, and we can zoom out. See, it is good because it's a good signal, good messages, data packets, and it's between 2.5, 3.5. I was gonna try to catch the other ones to show you, but it's the same concept, except it's 1.5 to 2.5, like this one right here. Alright, so stop it. See, there's good signal, 1.5 to 2.5. So that tells me that we have everything at this plug for this transmission control module to talk. However, it's not talking. So we have another one. Let's plug it, do a scan, compare the 2 scans, see if anything changes, if we can read the transmission control module, and it could be a matter of programming. The reason why, I mean, I did give the customer the option. I was like, you have a module already, do you want to spend the money on the diag, or you want to take a chance on this? However, it's 50-50. I could be diagnosing the issue and coming to the conclusion that it's the transmission control module, which you already have, or we could program the transmission control module and that doesn't fix your issue. So you choose. And he chose to go with diag, and after he chose to go with diag, I told him that's a smart move. He asked me why I didn't tell him at the beginning. I told him because I don't want to make the decision for you. I don't want to push you or lead you towards spending money on a diag. I want you to decide. So he decided to spend money on diag, and that's what we're doing right now. We're gonna plug the transmission control module, the new one, and do a scan and see what's the difference. All right, the new one plugged. Let's do a full scan. One thing was weird also, the supplement inflatable restraint module was offline earlier, yet we do have an airbag light comes on and goes off. So I'm not sure if it's a tool compatibility because it's a 2005 and this is one of the most recent advanced tools. So I do have a Tech 2, however that would be nice to use. I do have it with me. We have lost communication with ECM, TCM, BCM, failed in history. Let's erase those. Okay. Pass no fault, that doesn't mean anything. We're gonna have to crank it. Lost communication with TCM. ABS, still saying lost communication with TCM. And it's a hard fault. Let's erase it again. Okay. Now, one other thing, I don't see the TCM here. It's a independent unit. It's not a part of the engine control module. So I believe it should, technically it should have an entry here by itself. That makes me want to go grab the Tech 2 and scan the vehicle with it, which I'm about to do right now. Got the Tech 2 connected. This is the main menu, so we go to diagnose. 2005 passenger car, Pontiac, product line, which is the 4th digit of the VIN number. It's a V. Powertrain 6.0, yes. Speed automatic transmission. Diagnose trouble codes, engine, transmission. DTC information. So interesting. We do have what it looks like 2 codes in the TCM transmission control module. U0100 Lost communication with the engine control module. Failed in the current, failed, and U0140 lost communication with body control module. Interesting, the auto wasn't able to read the transmission or to even have an entry for the TCM. Now I want to go grab the GDS2. I'm gonna try the GDS2 next on this vehicle and see if it will ID the TCM. Yeah, we have some freeze frame. Possible wrong vehicle selected. Reselect vehicle. Okay. Let's clear engine transmission DTC codes. One thing we didn't do, we didn't drive it, we didn't feel how it drives on the new transmission control module. Okay, let's go data display for the transmission. Yeah, we do have data. Calculated throttle position, 34. Oh yeah, you have to start it. I'm thinking of the accelerator pedal position. read spark. Let's start it. Go back to the auto position. I don't see any change. Engine speed. This fluid temperature 100. Yeah, it's going up. I want to put it on drive, see if we have any changes. First of all, the prindle on the luster didn't change. So this is drive. Yeah, they'll say drive. Neutral, reverse, park. Yeah, look like we have a communication with this one. Two codes are back. So I just wanted to verify that I did actually delete the codes, and let's do it again. Do you want to clear codes? Yes. Okay, so go back to transmission, DTC information. No codes, you saw that? Okay, I'll show you. It was no codes, and all of a sudden that came back. Clear codes. No codes. Boom, right here. Two codes right away. So I suspect the new transmission control module, however, it needs programming. I told the customer that you have to program it. We have to program it. And he agrees with me. So let's see how it feels, how the vehicle feels. I don't think it feels different than earlier. All right. Whoa. Now we have a jerk when we put it in gear. We still have no prindle. Look. However, it drives different. Okay. Yes. So now I'm gonna have to call the customer see if it's okay to program this TCM. We're gonna request, I'm gonna use the Tech2 request information. No, not Cadillac. I was working on a Cadillac yesterday. It's a Pontiac 2005 passenger car GTO. The VIN number. He's gonna ask me about the VIN number. 4434. Yep, 4434. Is this correct? Yes. Turn ignition off, disconnect. I usually don't do that. I just bring the laptop. Let me talk to the customer first. I just finished talking to the customer, and he didn't give me the okay. He said, I'll call you back. I explained to him what the chances of this working, and you know, I just reminded him that he's taking a chance by a part that he purchased. So if it doesn't work, it's gonna be on him, not our shop, because we didn't provide the part. And that's, you know, I had to repeat it a couple of times for him, you know, just to clarify everything before I start. Meanwhile, since we're here, I want to plug in the old transmission control module and see if I can communicate with it using the Tech2. And I'm gonna go grab the GDS2 also to use it on both the old one and the donor one.